Are you ready for our new intro for next year?
Our new intro, it's totally the same, but we just forget it a lot more.
Yeah, we're off script now, so.
Hello, bookworms, bibliophiles, and lovers of all things literature. Welcome to the official final chapter of Volume 1 of the Braless Book Guild podcast, where we discard our bras and celebrate the end of the year to talk about books both published and unpublished. We are your hosts, Jenna.
Hi.
Marissa.
Hello.
And I'm Megan. All right, guys, we're officially at the end of the year.
Look,
Crazy.
guys, and the end of our volume, I think if there's ever a chance we get to just be flabbergasted and not talk correctly and wing it, it's today.
It's today. We deserve it.
We deserve it.
We've been through a lot, both bookish and unbookish.
Yes.
And we deserve to just, celebrate.
We totally do.
So,
Yeah. Sparkling cider.
Before we officially get started, what is everyone drinking? Let's start with Jenna.
I'm drinking Bigelow's ginger snappish tea that Megan brought over, and it's quite lovely. I wouldn't say it's super ginger snappishy, but it does have like a little bit of a lemon, and a slight gingerbready kind of flavor to it. So
I was going to say, it doesn't taste like gingerbread, which is what I wanted. I wanted like a little bit of a sweet, but it's just lemon and ginger.
yeah, it kind of
And
is
you
more
can
just
get
a
that
lemon
anywhere.
ginger, but it does have that rooibos in it. I think that gives it kind of more of a.
No wonder I didn't like it.
I think that's what probably is
Yep.
doing that for you. But
How about Marissa?
I am drinking what I believe is called a red dragon spiced chai by Stash. Not my favorite chai, I'll be honest. This is my first time having it, but it's not bad.
It also smelled like rooibos
Yeah.
when I made it, and I was just like,
red
this
is probably a good sign it's rooibos.
not for me. I am drinking the Steeped in Folklore, which we have talked about many times. It is an owl crate tea. It is banana bread flavored, and it is just a good staple to have around the house.
I would say it's my favorite decaf tea right now.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And there's so many things that you could put in it. Like, it's good with dairy. It's good with a little bit of cream and sugar.
It's good with
It's
just
just
even a
good.
smidge of sugar, or it's good on its own, but
I should have had a peppermint tea.
Oh,
You should have.
We could have. Yeah, because ginger snappish, steeped in folklore, banana bread, and you could have
I
done
should have had peppermint.
Marissa.
I know, I'm failing. I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay. You can do better next year.
that's
Something
gonna
to
be
improve upon.
that's gonna be the theme of our podcast, just so you know.
Yeah.
I'll do better next year.
We're
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Anyway, so before we get started, let's just get it out of the way. We had goals last year. If you listen to our episode, it wasn't like our first episode of the year. Well, technically it was. It was our chapter 7 episode, 2023 review. We had goals and we talked about it before. None of us met our goals, and that's okay because a lot did happen this year, both good and bad. So, let's just get that out of the way and we'll hope for better next year.
You know, it's funny. We were talking a little bit about this before we started recording, and I had this thought, and I actually held on to it because I wanted to say it on the podcast. We're trying to get better on being active on our social media, and so therefore, like, I'm trying to build our followers and do things and stuff, and so I'm trying to follow more of the authors that we enjoy and stuff like that, so that we can interact with them. And I got really hooked on, which I'll talk about a little later, one of the authors, newer authors, Carissa Weeks, and she had posted like this 2024 in review of like wins, and I was like, that's so cool that they're doing this. Like, and she had posted about how like it was so hard for her to do this at first because she felt looking back that she didn't get as far as she wanted to go, and so writing these wins was really cool. And then what was really, I thought, even better was she posted fails, like 2024 fails. So looking back, and she was like, because sometimes when we look at social media, all we see is how
Positivity,
everyone's
yeah.
come so far. And she goes, I want to show you that like all the struggles I hit too. And I was like, I love that you did this because it does show the other side of it. Like, yeah, you did so many amazing, awesome things. And like, as a reader, I'm like, wow, look at this crazy, amazing author that wrote these cool books and lives this cool, fun life. And then to have these fails of like, I didn't do this and I didn't do this and this happened and this, and it was like, it's humbling. It makes me feel less like, wow, we're such a failure compared to them. Look at how good they're doing. You know, it was really cool to see that.
That is really cool.
So I like seeing both sides.
Sorry, this is gonna be weird, but reminded me there's a Snow the Product song that I really like. And she talks about like how she wakes up in the morning and she's just scrolling through these Instagram timelines, a bunch of happy hashtags and stuff like that. And she's like, it's just way too early for that happy stuff. Like, not everything is super happy.
Right. But now that we have that out of the way, I think that we can go into 2025 with a more positive attitude. And we can kind of look back on...
I refuse. I'm the pessimist of the group.
Everything's gonna suck.
Yeah, keep my expectations low and I'll never be disappointed.
What is it? Hope for the best, but expect the worst.
Yeah.
Oof. I can't live my life that way. I'm just like, we're gonna rock it. So anyway, on a very, very positive note, we officially have, 38 episodes?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that is pretty darn good. Oh, at the end of this episode, this will be chapter 37. Actually, technically, it would be 38 because prologue is an episode. Yeah. But this will just be epilogue, so. But yeah, so we did a really great job this year of, coming up with fun and engaging ideas for this podcast, and we kicked butt recording and releasing.
We totally did.
We weren't consistent, but you know what? We also said going into this, it was very low stakes.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm happy about.
We recognize that we all have lives, we're all adults, and this, as fun as this podcast would be, and hopefully maybe one day will be to be like what we can focus on, we also understand like, hey, we are making money off of this. Right. This isn't a career. This is just a hobby. This is us just getting together, having fun, doing it. And when it becomes something of like putting a lot of pressure on it, that's when it becomes less fun.
Exactly.
And we didn't want it to turn into that. So I think for having that expectation in it, we have exceeded it.
I agree. Also, look at you, optimist. What? Pessimist where, Marissa? Also, looking back, we're funny. We're so funny, you guys.
I had to do all my reviews for work, so I have to try to find positive outlooks.
I was gonna say I also appreciate like none of us are professional in social media, podcasting, being out there type world. So this is a big learning thing for us.
Yes.
So there's a lot that comes with it. When we're talking about like, yeah, let's totally start a podcast. Yeah, we can totally have social media. It's not that hard to post pictures. It's not that hard to like talk for an hour and just edit a little bit and then post. It is so hard, guys.
Well, the talking part's easy.
Talking's easy. It's great getting together. We can talk. It's making time. It's being consistent. It's not as easy as we thought it was going to be, I don't think, but we didn't make it feel like a chore. Yeah. And I thought we did a good job with that. And we've learned a lot in the 38 episodes that we've done. So
I will say, as editing these episodes, talking is hard when you listen back to it, though. You're like, oh God, I need to learn to speak better. And why am I saying stuff like that? Why am I hesitating here? And why am I repeating myself?
Right.
It's so nerve-wracking. But yeah, I agree. Also, big shout out to all of our friends and family that have helped out throughout the year with that. Specifically, people like Haley helping us with the social media stuff and giving us guidance on it.
On our podcast.
Yeah, and being on our podcast, and all of our listeners that are listening to it and trying to spread the word. So.
And special shout out to Angela for being our Sisterhood of the Traveling Books friend. Yes. Even though she wasn't able to participate, I do hope that maybe for like the last couple episodes, I do hope that maybe next year we'll be able to find some time to bring her back on.
Yeah,
just for a fun little episode or two. And
even
then
if she's not the Sisterhood of the Traveling, because I think that might have been a lot for her at the time and with what was going on in her life right now. But just having her talk about, just books in general that she enjoys would be fun.
Yeah, if we find like a topic or something that is really in her niche or something like that, bringing her on for that.
I think something like maybe folklore or something. We'll have to discuss it with her more. But she's always fun and game to participate. So
also our mom. Shout out to our mom.
Yes,
number one
shout
fan
out to
and best friend Hannah. Who
best friend Hannah. Yeah. Which by the time this episode is out, she will have her Christmas present, which is a sweatshirt that says "Best Friend Hannah" on it. In a fun little font.
The best.
So. That's fantastic.
I'm very excited for her to get that. I'm also hoping for next year that we'll have maybe we'll be stable enough to have more guests on our show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll see.
for sure.
But that is not
We
a
have
promise.
goals that we don't want to promise to you
We
guys. So.
anticipate at least one.
Yes. We have plans, guys. We just haven't set anything in motion, and it's dreams. So we're not going to get your guys' hopes up until we have solid
Until
plans.
it's solid, yeah. Until we've already recorded it. And then for the previous episode or the episode before it, we can say, hey guys, guess what?
Yeah.
After we've recorded it and we know for sure that it wasn't a horrible fail and we all made fools of ourselves.
Knock on wood, we have not gone through an entire episode and not recorded it and
That's
realized
true.
we didn't record it. Granted, Marissa has the ability to see
I do. I keep it up so I can tell. But we did come close to one where I thought I lost it
Oh, gosh.
because I thought it didn't actually save.
Oh.
But I found it, luckily,
Yeah.
and was able to get it. Because I had a weird thing where we record this on my laptop, but when I edit on my desktop. And because of the wonderful technology of Google and stuff, I'm able to just, whatever I record on my laptop is on my desktop,
Yeah.
but it didn't transfer that one time.
Oh, God.
And I thought I had lost it completely.
R.I.P. Yeah.
So
Do you remember what episode that was? I'm just curious.
recently, I think
Oh.
I think it was like the Oleander Sword or something like that. It was one of the more recent
dang.
ones, and I'm like, oh no.
And that would have been a hard one to replicate because it's
Mhm.
a book discussion that we try not to talk about too much before the podcast, so we don't sound rehearsed or like, oh, remember what I said earlier?
Especially if we had already read book 3.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been really hard to read.
So, all right. So let's get into the actual wrap up part. Are you guys ready?
No, but let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let me just say, I'm sorry ahead of time for my answers.
This is low stakes.
Let's stay.
We're fine. So the first question is, how many books did you guys read this year? And again, no pressure. Everyone reads at a different pace. How many books?
According to my Goodreads, I'm at 48.
Woohoo!
However, I know that at least 3 of those are DNFs, but I kept them on my Goodreads because I read more than half of them. So
Yeah.
I feel like,
I agree.
look, I put enough time, energy, and
Yes.
effort into that. I'm counting it even though I didn't finish it. So
Over 50%
yeah,
can go on your Goodreads for
right. So I would say that I'll go with 48, but realistically, it's somewhere between 45 and 48.
sure. We'll get into DNFs later.
Yeah, that's another question.
That's our very next question. Marissa, how many books did you read?
Which is good because I did not keep track of the books that I read and finished really. So mine's very much a guesstimation as far as like things that I did keep track of and I know that I read. It's somewhere in the 20s. I think I counted a total of 20 that I know I read and finished. I know I read and did not finish a lot too. So
Yeah.
my DNF list is very long.
And
Look.
I like how half of those are going to be required reading.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. When I was writing down like books that I know I read and finished, I'm all like, the majority of all of this is required reading that we did together.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw it out there that Priory of the Orange Tree has to count for multiple books.
There you go.
Well, it was a
And-
day of Fall Night.
A Day of
but
Fall
yes.
Night. Either both of those
Each-
books.
Perspective.
Each perspective was
How many?
a book.
Is there 5 perspectives? There you go. 5
There you go,
books.
5
Yes.
books. Add on a few more.
As of recording today, I have managed to read 98 books, and I'm hoping to finish 2 of them before January 1st to hit 100 books. I will say I cheated and have read a lot of manga this year.
Nice.
So that is my easy, like right now I am currently reading X 1999 by Clamp, which was one that we used to have in high school that we loved. And it would have been elementary school for you. So actually, I think it even came out in the 90s. So probably even before you were born.
Yeah, I probably wasn't even a thought yet.
But yeah, so I did read a lot of manga to like boost up my numbers because I've never been this far. And I saw the end in sight and I was like, okay, here's how I'm going to get by. So, next question. How many did you DNF? Let's start with Marissa. Since
It's too many to count.
Too many to
Way
count.
too many to count. I had a lot that I did not finish. Some of them were because I didn't like the book.
Yeah.
So straight up, I'd just start reading it and I didn't like it, so I stopped it. Some of it was because I felt like, hey, I can't read this one right now because I have to read this next one for required reading or something, and so I never went back to it.
Yeah.
I am hoping to cut that down a lot. But yeah, I definitely way too many to count this year. I think probably almost as many books as I read, I did not finish.
Yeah. For me, I counted 10. And I counted 10 through my Libby app or through Goodreads, or through my Kindle Unlimited. But that's what I could count. And I know there were probably at least 8 more physical copies that I tried to pick up that I couldn't pick up because they're on my TBR shelf physically, but it's hard to read physical books with my child. So I'd read 3 or 4 pages or a few chapters when I had a moment, and then be like, I'll read it a little later, and never get to it. So I would probably guess that mine's close to 20.
Yeah.
But I counted 10 that I can solidly talk about.
I do have that problem of I have a habit of not finishing what I start. So.
In other aspects of your life?
Yeah, a lot of things. So
yeah.
I do too. Don't worry.
For me, I have 2 actual books, but looking at my list of books that I read, there should have been a lot more that I finished, and I just suffered through and ended up giving them very low grades or stars or what are the reviews.
mm-hmm.
So I wish I had honestly DNF'd more and just said I don't have time for this. Or
did you say how many you read?
2.
No, that you read this year. Okay,
Yeah, 98.
Got it.
She's blown us out of the water.
Yeah,
but again, I should
trying
have.
to get the 2.
I'm trying to get those 2, the last 2, to make it a even 100. But
I listen. Don't worry.
yeah, I do wish I had DNF'd a lot more books this year. All right, next, let's start with a variety of genres. Did you read? I'll start this time. Obviously, I am a big YA fan, so most of mine was YA, fantasy, and then obviously manga/graphic novels.
Nice.
And then I had a couple of my other, which is this could just be regular fiction or something that doesn't fit in the 7 categories that I have in my planner kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, mostly young adult and fantasy and some romantasy thrown in. So Jenna.
I read a lot of fantasy, romantasy, contemporary romance, and I'm mad at myself because I feel like I usually have a lot wider range of books that I read. But looking at this whole year, that pretty much sums it up. Contemporary romance, fantasy, romantasy. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've read this year.
And Marissa.
Yeah, I think a big majority has been fantasy because of the required reading. I think mostly we read fantasy for required reading. I had a few nonfiction in there, stuff like The Stranger Beside Me and Into Thin Air and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with Jenna. I usually have a lot more different things that I read and a lot larger of a variety. So I think skipping ahead a little bit, one of my goals coming up would be getting back into more of some other genres that I read.
Mm-hmm.
And then according to Spotify, I read a lot of murder mysteries, but I don't.
Did you do the audiobook of
I did the
Murder of
audiobook
Mr. Wickham?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I did that. It was all like, oh, here's all these murder mysteries.
I was going to say, one required reading was not a fantasy.
Yeah.
It was the murder mystery. And I did that specifically. I chose that book specifically because I was like, we do a lot of fantasy.
Yeah.
Let's try something new. All right. Do you guys have your top 5 favorite books of the year? Marissa?
I do. Let me pull that up really quick. Of the ones that I remember reading. So, I mean, really, it really comes down to it. And this is not in any particular order of it. A Day of Fallen Night was one of them. The Stranger Beside Me. Under the Whispering Door. I put the Burning Kingdoms trilogy as one book in there because I feel like that was
I agree.
I'm just putting that entire thing in there. And then This Is How You Lose the Time War.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Jenna?
I also put the Burning Kingdom trilogy as one book. Also, not in any particular order. So, Burning Kingdom trilogy, 7 Year Slip, The Heartless Hunter, I really enjoyed, / Crimson Moth, One Dark Window, and the Witch Collector series.
Yeah. You talked about that. I was listening to that episode.
Don't worry, we'll talk about that more. I like it.
Mine also not in any particular order. The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi, the Luminaries trilogy, Beach Read, the Burning Kingdoms trilogy as well, and just one that was kind of thrown in that really took me by surprise this year is Yellowface.
Oh.
So I really liked that one. All right, let's hop into like little fun questions. Let's dig deeper into the books that we read. Who of all the books that you guys have read, do you have a favorite character?
I had two that I put down because I couldn't decide. One of them was Malini.
Yeah.
Felt like I related to her a lot. And her character was just very intriguing. We talk all about that in the Burning Kingdoms trilogy episodes. And then the other one was Tanuva from A Day of Fallen Night.
Yeah, Tanuva is one of my all-time favorite characters of any book that I've ever read.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was Wendell from Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands, which is the second one. And the third one comes out very soon, and I'm very excited. I also really liked Winnie Wednesday from the Luminaries trilogy by Susan Dennard and Jenna.
I put the Elspeth.
Oh,
from,
yeah.
One Dark Window was one of my favorite characters. I had a hard time picking this one, actually, because it was interesting to me that no one stood out so far above the rest in all the books that I was like, that is for sure one of my favorite characters. There was a lot of books where I was like, oh, I really like that character. Oh, they were very interesting. Malini was one of the top contenders because she had so many facets to her. I chose Elspeth because of the way her and the nightmare interacted and the juxtaposition of them and the way it was written.
So I would say for One Dark Window, it's Elspeth, and then for Two Dark Crowns?
Yeah, Two Dark Crowns.
Two Dark Crowns, it is Emery.
Two Twisted Crowns.
Two Twisted Crowns, yes. It is Emery. He is my favorite. And
the Shepherd King things are great. So
the Shepherd, the Shepherd.
It's the Shepherd King
duology.
So the characters in that were really good.
All right. Next is favorite couple. Favorite couple? We can skip this one if you guys don't have one.
I've got one. I just didn't know who you were starting with.
Yeah.
Favorite couple. Let's do Jenna this time.
I was torn. Because my two things seem to really be either fantasy or contemporary romance. I chose one from each. For my contemporary romance, it was Clementine and Ewan from 7 Year Slip. From fantasy, it was Raina and Alexis from The Witch Collector.
I gotta read it to find out why. I'm so curious. How about you, Marissa?
Mine is Blue and Red from This Is How You Lose the Time War.
Not Red versus Blue?
No, it's Blue and Red. It's a back and forth. It's very much a Divine Rivals type book of them like writing letters to each other type thing, but in a very weird, convoluted way.
Is it gay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Divine Rivals, but make it gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, there was so many times I wanted to put Ruthless Vows in here, but I chose not to put it in a lot of my stuff that I chose because I wanted to tie it more in with last year, because even though I read it this year at the beginning of the year, it felt like it was wrapped up last year, so I didn't end up putting it into things as much this year.
Yeah.
But I did love them as a couple. I loved that book. It probably would have been my top 5, but because it was the second part of a duology, I didn't want to put the second part of the duology when the first part is really the one that I liked more.
Right.
Anyway.
Iris and Rowan?
Yes.
Yeah. Kit, yes. My favorite couple was Gus and January from Beach Read.
They were cute.
I thought that they had a good chemistry. This is a good one. Biggest plot twist.
This one was the one I had a really hard time trying to find anything on that I liked.
Are you just good at like predicting things,
Yes.
so nothing like really
It was either that or the plot twists weren't anything that I really liked. It didn't really, not necessarily shock me, but I was like, oh, okay. It was just kind of how I felt about it. The only thing that I put down on there was the Amina Al-Sarafi finding out who what's his face was, the narrator.
Oh yeah,
that one was. I predicted it at one point, but I was really happy that it was because it was a good twist.
Yeah,
yeah.
It was one that really added to the story and made it like kind of just like developed it.
Yeah,
I think so. Mine is from The Ones We're Meant to Find by Joan Hay. And I can't go into it, obviously, because it's a plot twist. But that one is more like a sci-fi dystopian kind of book. And the plot twist, there's like 3 plot twists that happened that I did not see coming at all. And normally I'm very good about predicting things. I mean, we read a lot, so there's only so many kind of plot twists that you can do. And I did not predict any of them. So it was really satisfying. And Jenna?
I couldn't find any that I really cared about.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest. There were points where it was like, I literally would look at things and, you know, like I liked the narrator and finding out who the narrator was in Amina al-Sarafi. I felt like the plot twist in Heartless Hunter was well done, but I saw it coming.
Yeah.
Iona made me angry with their plot twist. It was like, for real, dude. Like, but there was a thing that stood out to me as like, wow, that was a really good plot twist, or like my favorite plot twist. I just like was looking back and I was like, did I read anything with good plot twist? And then it made me disappointed with my life. Just kidding. My pessimist came out. Continue.
All right, next one that we actually want to do a full entire episode on, best villain. I want to do an entire episode of villains.
Yeah.
So, best villain of the year for you guys. Start with just go.
I just figured since we have a lot of pauses.
I looked at you.
I put a tie between the Yaksa and the villain from A Day of Fallen Night, which we can't talk about.
We can't talk about.
We can't talk about.
Villain.
We can when Jenna eventually reads it. She'll get there eventually.
It'll happen.
We joked about you reading Priory of the Orange Tree, and you read 1 page a day. And you'll be done in 2 years.
There you go.
So,
and now we're adding A Day of Fallen Night on top of it. So 4 years.
Yeah, there you go. So stick around for 4 years. Well,
yeah.
Jenna eventually gets there.
I'll get through it eventually.
How about you, Jenna?
You know what's funny is that there's no real villains in contemporary romance.
I was thinking about that literally earlier when I was at work. I was like, what are the villains are just themselves, or like the bad boy. Yeah, a misunderstanding. Or sometimes it's like the crazy ex-girlfriend.
Right.
Very few, but yeah.
There's not really a villain. So I honestly, there wasn't a crazy, amazing, good villain that stood out to me. I'd say of the books that I read, one of my favorites is from The Witch Collector, because the more you get into it, I'm like, how are you gonna make this villain interesting? And they do. Like, okay. So I can't really go into it without giving things away. But
don't worry, I couldn't go into mine either.
Yeah, but I'd say the Nameless Prince from the Prince with No Name, I think is what they call him.
Oh,
I was gonna say Nameless Prince, like good Jasmine Throne.
Similar. I was like, look, we have a theme going on here. I get a lot of books with no names, and I have to guess the names, and names are important.
Yeah.
Ironically, his name is very interesting for me.
Oh.
Okay.
I think I know what his name is.
Is it Elias?
Anyways,
continue.
Okay.
Your favorite villain?
I actually also cannot say who my villain is because it is a big plot twist, but it is the villain from X 1999 by Clamp. The manga that I am in the middle of reading right now. And that one, I cannot say who it is because the main character might turn into the villain. That's like the whole point of the book, the series. Yeah.
My least favorite villain was Ido from Eon.
Yeah, there you go.
Can we all agree?
Yes.
Simultaneously agree that that's the worst villain?
Yes. Or like, you know,
in
you have...
the bad way.
In the bad way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not in the like... He's the worst villain, but cool. It's like, no, he's terrible.
I want to just smash my head against the wall because you fall into every trope of villainy that I hate.
Yeah. And moving on. We don't want to give him what is it? Hold space for him? We don't want to hold space for him. All right. So this is now longest versus shortest book that you guys read. And this could be either page number or audiobook time.
The Day of Fallen Night was the longest.
I was going to say, Marissa, I think you win.
You definitely win.
How many pages is The Day of Fallen Night?
I don't know that off the top of my head, but I think it's like 800.
Yeah, it's a big boy. And it is like 20 or 40 pages shorter than Priory of the Orange Tree. Let's see what Goodreads
Which is why you get credit for multiple books for this one.
It is 868 pages.
Yeah.
I think you get minimum 3 books out of that.
There you go.
Yeah, that was my longest one.
Do you know your
And
shortest?
your shortest?
I believe it was We Are What We Pretend to Be by Kurt Vonnegut, because they weren't completed books. They weren't completed stories, so like each story was like 80 pages.
That's fair.
Yeah. There's like 2 stories in one. Each of them was like 80 pages.
And that is a total of 176 pages.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
That's actually shorter than mine and longer than mine. So
I win!
you are the winner. My shortest was How to Marry a Werewolf by Gail Carriger. 196 pages. My longest was Gold by Raven Kennedy for 646 pages.
Oh, nice.
And do you know what was nice? Goodreads told me what they were. My Goodreads wrap-up told me which ones were the longest and shortest.
That's exactly why
you knew.
Why I had it on there. My shortest book was The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson, and that is 235 pages. We got that in Owl Crate years and years ago, and I love the show. I read the book. The show's better. And my longest was Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros, and that's the second Fourth Wing book. And that one I did the audiobook, and that was 21 hours or 640 pages. I also did the dramatized version of it. So it had like sounds and like a full voice cast, and it was pretty cool. I think I talked to Jenna about this a lot when I was listening to it. I definitely enjoyed it a lot more than I would have if I had read it.
Yeah.
I probably would have DNF'd it.
Yeah.
But the dramatized version was pretty darn awesome. All right. Did you guys discover any new authors this year?
A lot, honestly.
Yeah.
Any ones that stood out to you?
TJ Klune. I want to read more of his books.
Yeah.
Tasha Suri, obviously.
Yes.
She's got a new one coming out at some point. She's just did did she do the title release for that yet?
I have
Don't
no
remember.
idea.
But I'm excited for that. And Max Gladstone is the other one. He's he or she, I don't remember the gender, but they're one of the authors for This Is How You Lose the Time War. And I just started another one of their books.
Oh, very cool.
So
Jenna?
The Isle in the Silver Sea is the next Tasha Suri book.
Ooh.
Oh, she did.
She just did it less than a week ago.
Oh, I know, because she had a whole thing where it was all like
Hinting
guess
towards
the,
it. Yeah.
No, they were like,
right,
guess
because we were
title.
sending each other. That was so
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, that was really funny. What was my favorite was, what did I send you guys? It was like the book where the lesbians can't be happy or something.
Carissa Weeks is the author of the Witch Collector series. I don't know if she's done any other books, but I devoured The Witch Collector, and she still has 2 more books in this series that she's wants to finish this out with. So I think she will probably be an auto buy for me from now on. I've loved her books. So she's definitely one of them. And then Rachel Gillig, I read the One Dark Window, 2 Twisted Crowns. I haven't read any of her books, but
those are her only 2 books out right now.
But I will definitely be reading anything that she comes out with in the future because I destroyed both of those books too. And then the Heartless Hunter, the Kristen Ciccarelli, I look forward to her books too.
Same. Mine was also Rachel Gillig and Emily Henry. I also read most, if not all of, except for People We Meet on Vacation, which I'm saving for next year. I read all of her other books this year. And she is also going to be an auto-buy author for me. And Rachel Gillig as well. But yeah, like Marissa said, I also discovered a lot of new authors this year that I also really enjoyed. And we could probably do an entire episode just talking about how awesome authors are.
Yes.
So
I will say I didn't necessarily discover authors, but I think I went back and read more books by authors that I enjoyed.
yeah, backlist. Yeah.
Like I read Emily Henry technically 2 years ago, I think, but I've read all her other books this year and was like, oh yeah, I really do actually like her. And same with Allie Hazelwood and stuff like that. So I didn't discover them, but I definitely dug into their backlist a lot more.
Yeah.
So.
Did any of you guys read a lot of one specific author?
I didn't read a lot of books that weren't required reading, so it was really difficult. Like, other than Tasha Suri, I obviously read 3 of her books this year because I read the trilogy. But But yeah, I didn't have a specific one that I gravitated towards. I'm sure Jenna did though, because she read a lot of books.
Allie Hazelwood and Emily Henry. They were kind of and I actually finished the Elena Armis. And she doesn't have as many, but I went through and read, I think, not all of, because actually Allie Hazelwood has a lot of books, but most of her big ones right now. And then I think I've back read all of Emily Henry's now. But yeah, for contemporary authors, I pretty much just went back to authors that I knew I liked, and I read a lot of those.
Very cool. I did all of Emily Henry, which I said, but I also did a lot of Rebecca Ross. Like, I read her Song of Cadence, I think it was, which was A Fire Endless, or no, it was I forgot what the first one is, but The Fire Endless is the second one. I also went to her very first published book because I needed a Q on my alphabet challenge, and that one was The Queen's Rising. And I will say that I feel like she's discovered her voice compared to her debut novel. It does have a second one, which I probably will read for next year for a Q, because it's The Queen's Resistance or something. Yeah. And so those are just the two that I read most of this year. And I think I've read 5 of each. And then any favorite quotes?
I had so many of them. I couldn't. And you know what? A lot of them came from This Is How You Lose the Time War.
Interesting. I love how we all have like the one book that we're still every category it fits.
Put into it, yeah. But I think that one was just such a quotable book, honestly. One of them, but one of the quotes that I put on here, I really like, and it wasn't even from the story, it was from the authors at the end of the story talking about the book. And it says, "Books are letters in bottles cast into waves of time from one person trying to save the world to another. Keep reading, keep writing, keep fighting. We're all still here."
That is a good end of the year quote as well.
Yeah.
That is a great one.
That was I saw that and I'm all it made me think of this podcast right
Yeah.
away. And I'm all I should mention that. But there's a lot of small ones too that they put in there. They put she wants there to be a god so that she could curse her. That was
That's
so
fun.
good.
As we literally just spent an entire last episode talking about how religion.
But yeah, there's a lot of references to other things. She talks about pomegranates and remembers what pomegranates are for. They bring daughters of Earth back to the land of the dead, but death does not claim them. I loved that.
That is really cool. I actually just bought a giant pomegranate that's as big as my face.
Yeah.
I love pomegranates.
The funny thing is Marissa had a lot of quotes from How to Lose the Time War.
Yeah. I bet I can guess what your quotes
what's
are
all
from.
my quotes? My quotes are Amin al-Sarafi.
Oh.
My favorite quotes were from Amin al-Sarafi. I feel like that was a very quotable book for me that I really enjoyed. But I think my favorite from it was, "To be a woman is to have your story misremembered, discarded, and twisted."
Yes. We also talked a lot about that in our last episode as well.
Yeah.
My quote, the only quotes in my planner, there's 3 pages dedicated to quotes, and what I did this year was just write the first line of books in the quotes. So the one that really stood out to me that I really liked of those that I recorded was from Yellowface, and it is, "The night I watch Athena Liu die, we are celebrating her TV deal with Netflix." Which, if that doesn't convince you to read this book, you guys, you should definitely read this book. It is so fun.
I did want to put an honorable mention really quick.
Yeah.
There's a book I read, and it's A Dark and Drowning Tide. The way that, because it's a book about stories and telling stories and fairy tales and stuff, and instead of saying "once upon a time," it always said "back in the days when wishes still held power."
Oh.
And I'm I love
like
the way
that.
that was.
I have to say, the other 2 quotes, I have to put up my other 2 quotes by Amin al-Sarafi that I love, because since I felt it was quotable, I wanted to put all of them. "Are not all mothers capable of being monsters when it comes to their children?" Which I felt hit home for me. And "Men find it easier to believe that they have been swindled by a witch than outwitted by a woman."
Yeah.
And I loved both of those as well.
Are you looking at how different languages say "once upon a time"?
I'm looking at how Korean specifically says it, because I remember it being
I can probably find that because I just liked a post on Tumblr that Gail Character reposted, and it was how different languages say once upon a time. I loved them all.
Yeah, the one from Korea was back when tigers used to smoke. And that's how they would start their once upon a time.
There was... Let's see if I can find it really quickly, because I liked it today. Yeah, that was the first one on the list, was back when tigers used to smoke. Romanians say there once was as never before, because if there wasn't, it wouldn't have been told. So, like, it starts off as there once was, as there never before, and then you get to the end and you say because if there wasn't, it would have never been told. And then Turkish has a long one, but I also like it too. It says, once there was, and once there wasn't, in a long distant days of yore, when haystacks winnowed sieves, when genies played jeered in the old bathhouse, when fleas were barbers, when camels were town criers, when I softly rocked my baby grandmother to sleep in her creaking cradle, there lived an exotic land far, far away. Like, dude, that's such a long way to say once upon a time.
They, in the Daevabad trilogy, whenever they would talk about the stories, she would say in a land far, far away, but not so far or something.
Yeah.
Or in a time and place far, I don't know. Something like that. I remember them saying that. Okay, back to our things. So that basically wraps up our, like, bookish thing, unless you guys have any other things that you'd like to, any honorable mentions for you?
No, I think, yeah, just like I said, I think with the quotes, there were so many things that were quotable, but we went through a lot of them, especially, like, last week we talked about the Oleander Sword, and I went through a lot of the quotes that I liked in the Oleander Sword. Or not the Oleander Sword, the Lotus Empire. I went through a lot of those. But yeah.
I think what's cool is, as I was looking back, I was both really disappointed that I wasn't, I didn't have as much variety in the books that I read. But then when I was looking at the books, I felt that I read so many good quality books with a lot of them that I sat there and I was like, oh, I can't even pick, like, favorites among these because I had so many books that I really enjoyed. I could literally have entire episodes talking about Allie Hazelwood books or about the Witch Collector books or, we could talk about the Rachel Gillig's book, her duology, and how amazing it was. I could talk for an entire episode about the books that I read and how much I loved them. So I thought that's pretty cool that I could look back and really enjoy most of the books that were on my list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't say that.
You had a very long list.
I wasted my time.
You did, but you had quantity over quality.
There you go. And that's when you have a high goal like that. That's kind of what you go for.
Yeah.
And then you supplement it with manga. Next year's manga is Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicle, which is like 28 books long. Nice. So there you go. All right. So let's go into our personal, let's learn about us. Did you guys discover something new about yourself this year?
I couldn't answer that question. I didn't know that. I did not think I did, but I wasn't very self-reflective this year.
Yeah. And, sometimes you gotta be like that.
I feel like what is weird is that these last 2 years of motherhood has been a lot of realizations for me just personally in that aspect because I've changed so much that I feel like I'm constantly both rediscovering and losing myself. So it's hard for me to say like, oh yeah, I've learned something new about myself this year because there's so much change, both good and bad, in me in the last 2 years that I feel like I'm literally in the middle of the sea and trying to decipher waves.
I have in my planner a Percy Jackson quote, and it's "Hold fast, brave the storm."
Yeah.
And so I think that's
pretty much where it's at. It's like, it's literally like you're in the middle of the sea and trying to pick apart waves that are hitting you all at once. And there's good and there's bad and it's all over the place. And so much of myself has changed that I'm just, all I can think of is Frozen 2. a magical forest is transformation, a place of transformation. I can't wait to see what it's going to do to us all. Like, that's what I feel like. When I come out of this magical forest, I'll be a completely different person. It'll be interesting to see what I'm at, where I'm at, and who I am.
Yeah.
This is what I've learned. I regret deciding to want to be your son's favorite. Love him to death, but he never leaves me alone.
Yeah, you are now 100% the favorite. We actually, yesterday I was talking to my mother-in-law about, she was asking like what my plans were for the weekend, and I was just like, well, we have our D&D party, our Christmas party, and I was like, so, if you're around and want to try to, distract Elias, that would be great. She goes, Jenna, I can't distract Elias when Marissa's here. Like, I tried, but he just wants Marissa. And I go, yeah, it's just so unfortunate because Marissa loves him and she's not going to tell him no, and she doesn't want him to like not want her. But at the same time, it's really unfortunate for her who can't play,
right? Because
he only wants her. And she's like, I can try to distract him and take him to my room, or like she and I'm vaguely a helicopter parent. I have a very hard time with I have anxiety with driving, so I have a very hard time with the idea of someone driving my son without me. So I haven't really let anyone take him somewhere. She's like, I could take him to Camille's and we could play with his cousin. I'm like, let me think about that. Like, I'm scared. So you are the favorite, and everyone knows it.
Yep, that's why I had to go back to the gym, because I need to be able to handle your son.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, that is a positive thing that has happened to me this year, was I got back into the gym.
Yeah. I learned that I am incredibly resilient, and that the hold fast, brave the storm quote that I have is for, I have it on the specific counters. It's part of my 24 things to do 24 times in 2024. And I wanted to include one thing to remind myself that, sometimes things are negative, but you do get through it. So yeah, being let go in January from my job and then getting a new job that is horrible.
Yes.
Is rough. And among many, many other things, I have not fully colored in the 24 times, but a good handful of it. And I just look at that as both a negative and a positive thing of, I am resilient and I am able to get through these things, and this whole, like, this too shall pass kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that doesn't happen next year.
I'm hoping I don't get tested again so hard.
I would rather not.
I feel you.
Yeah. How about the best part of your guys' year?
Well, I had a few different things on that one. So not our D&D group, but my other D&D group, we play online because we all live kind of far apart from each other. We got to meet up in person for the first time this year. Like, all of us together. Like, all of us had met each other in person at one point or another, but not all together. So
that
we had
so
fun. We had a fun little...
Did you play D&D while you were all together?
We did not.
Okay.
We played some games, like board games and stuff like that, but it was mostly just hanging out. Plus, a couple of the spouses were there, so we didn't want to, like, not have them be a part of it. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Mine is very similar to yours in that I have K-pop study group with friends that I have met over the years as the extrovert. I have adopted all of these introverts who are into K-pop, and we have been doing K-pop study group since 2020 online, and I have met each individual one of them myself in person, but we have not all met together. So this year we went to KCON, and we all got to meet in person finally, and it was amazing.
Nice.
And I hope that we can do that again in the future someday. How about you, Jenna? What was your best part?
So this has been really hard for me because not that I'm super pessimistic, but half of my year I have been spending very, 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 very sick. So
it's hard to think of positivity when you are in such a negative aspect.
Right.
I totally get that.
And I'm still kind of in the midst of it. So I had a lot of good stuff happen throughout this year, but it's very, very hard to focus on the good when I had all this bad stuff going on. And just trying to survive has been rough.
Yeah.
But that being said, I have been able to really focus on my family. I've gotten to spend all of my time with my son. I never thought I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but did as soon as I had him, and I get to be the stay-at-home mom. And it took until this year that I got to finally do that. And so I really got to spend time with him and bond with him. And I'm learning, because I have been very, very, very sick. I'm trying to learn to make time for me as well, so that I can try to heal, try to recuperate, try to not just survive and continue to only be a mom. So I'd say, I mean, my son is always going to be the best part of my year. He's really the best part of everything for me. But also learning how to be myself amidst that has probably been the best part for me.
Yeah. I will say, listening to our 2023 review, you had mentioned that in order to, like, your goal had been to focus on your family. And in order to focus on your family, you actually said, I also need to focus on myself.
Right.
And so I think that's a good thing that you're like,
it took until
doing that.
September of this year for me to start figuring out how to focus on myself even a little bit. But
it takes time.
And it was only because they locked me in a hospital for 7 days, and I didn't have the option to focus on my son.
I will say honorable mention.
That made it sound like I was crazy. They locked me in a hospital. Not because I'm crazy from
just
medical
because
conditions.
There was padded padded walls around.
It wasn't
there was
a
really
straight jacket. It was a big hug jacket.
There's nothing straight about this jacket, okay? But no, honorable mention too of one of my best parts of this year was finally being able to go to the Red Fair.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Go.
Jenna sent me pictures of those, and you guys looked so cute.
Yeah, it was great. I'm glad we got to bring Elias, even though it was kind of a headache sometimes.
Next, well, I don't know. It'll depend, I think, a little bit on how he is, because as he gets older, I think it will be different. 2 is a very, well, he's not even quite 2 yet.
Terrible 2.
But he's hit that terrible 2 stage of fierce independence very early.
Oh.
So he's fiercely independent with no ability to be independent because he's still under 2 years old.
Yeah.
So it was a lot harder than I think we anticipated taking him this year. Depending on how it goes, I'd love to go again with or without him, depending on where he's at. And also I got really, really, really sick before that. So it happened while I was really, really sick. I would like to be a little bit more prepared and actually dress up more and do more fun things with it than I actually got to do this time. So
I'd like to not rip my pants next year.
Did you rip your pants?
Luckily at the end, it was on the drive home
that
it ripped, but it wasn't like a tiny tear. It was like the entire backside of my pants were gone.
And it was like the leg too. It wasn't even necessary. Like usually you get like the seam. It was like she got a rip in the leg. It was almost like she just got in a fight with a giant wildebeest.
What were you doing?
I don't know. I can't even remember what I was
playing
doing
with my child. Maybe
Oh.
I don't know.
It was Elias's fault.
Yes,
He
is the wildebeest.
I did get in a fight with a wildebeest.
All right. And now as we go into 2025, do you guys have any special goals for yourself? Either reading or let's start with reading actually.
Yeah.
What are your reading goals for 2025?
I want a lot more variety when I look back. I want to get into more than just my fantasy and my contemporary romance and my romantasy. Not that I don't love those. I do. And I love that that's kind of my niche, and I love that I can talk about those, and I really do enjoy those books. And to be honest, they're the easier books for me to read with my son because they keep me engaged enough that I will keep picking them up, whereas a lot of sometimes slower books are too easy to be like, yeah, it's too heavy for me right now. And I kind of talked with my friends about this earlier today, about my friend Robbie and Angela.
We're not her friends.
You guys aren't my friends.
She has other friends?
I know.
She's an introvert, right?
Being a mom, heavier things are harder for me my emotions feel more raw. So if I read a lot of heavier books that I liked before, I loved 1,000 Splendid Suns. I don't think I could read that. No, you could not
read that.
Well, as a mom now, Kite Runner, same thing. I couldn't read the books that I had liked before as much, but I'm hoping that next year I can have a little bit more variety than just what I've been reading.
How about you?
Yeah, I agree with that as well. Variety. Going back into some other stuff that I like. I very much enjoy reading the books that we all like together, so that we can all discuss them. But I do know I have books that I like that I don't think you guys would like as much. So I want to be reading more of those.
And that's what you can bring to the table to like introduce our listeners to books outside of what we all normally read.
Yeah. And then also, because we talked about it during Pride Month, is I want to find more variety in LGBT books. So not just sapphic couples being in the book, but also finding, non-binary people and asexual and just more variety in like that sort of spectrum.
Jenna and I look at each other and we're like, Ashley Poston.
Yes. We'll get you there eventually.
Contemporary stuff. I tried. We talked about trying to convince me to read Dead Romantics. I've tried, and every time I try to get into it, I can't get into it.
You definitely have to be in a contemporary mood. You have to be in that, and if you're when and if you get into that mindset, totally, like that'll be the book that you should totally go for. But
if you're never in the contemporary mindset, that is also fine.
Yeah.
Don't be like Megan.
Don't force
DNF.
yourself to. I just had I started because they had the audiobook on Spotify. So I was like, oh, perfect. It's free. It's an audiobook. Maybe I'll like it. And I'll tell you what, the narrator for it is good. I think the narrator fits the main character very well. I don't think she can do a guy's voice.
Oh, yeah.
Happens a lot.
You win some, you lose some, yeah.
I just love that you guys were trying to convince me of like, it's really not much of a hetero romance, especially at the beginning, and like everything about it feels like a hetero romance.
No, I think it was mostly we wanted you to enjoy the family aspect.
Yeah.
And you don't get to that.
Yeah, it takes a hot
later.
minute. It takes a hot minute.
So, but yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't remember what we were talking about.
Your goal, your reading goal for 2025.
So not that, but more LGBT characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys all talked about expanding your horizons, and I'm over here like, I have no desire.
Yeah.
I am happy with what I read.
That's awesome.
Most of my goals, or like my reading goals, is 100 books again, but I have so many series on my shelves that, again, in my planner, always fully booked planner by Little Inklings Design, not an ad, but could be, if I talk to her. Her name is also Megan. Hey, Megan, shout out to you.
Good name.
It is a really good name, you guys. But in that planner, she has like a list where you can list all of your series and like the amount of books that are in each series. So I have a lot of series, including the entire Shadowhunters realm series that I am determined to delve into next year. Eventually. Someday. Not the entire series, just the ones that I have on my shelves, which is the Immortal Instruments and the Infernal Devices. Right?
Just at least start with the Infernal Devices. Just
yeah,
do
that's
the
what I
Infernal
plan to
Devices.
do.
Don't start with Immortal Instruments. I don't think that's the one that's going to get you into it.
Yeah. I'm going to pull a Marissa on this, and I will do that. And I have heard great things about the Infernal Devices, so I will definitely be starting with those. But who knows when I'll get to them, because I am the biggest mood reader ever. So I have to be in the mood to read them, but I do want to get to them. But yeah, so I want to get through a big chunk of the series, and I have a lot of unread books on my shelf. My TBR shelf is massive, so I want to get through 70% of that. And yeah, that's my reading goal for next year. How about personal goals? Get healthy.
Get healthy. Gosh. That is 100% my goal. Get healthy. And find balance. I need to get better about balance. I think that the one thing I've learned this year is that I burn myself out because I don't know how to balance things. So
that was my word of the year this year, was balance.
Really? Yeah.
I did not succeed in it, but that's okay.
We'll work on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I need to find balance for myself, as a person, as a wife, as a mother,
as a podcaster.
And I need to not just throw myself into one thing and then not have any ability to take care of the other parts of my life.
Yeah. How about you, Marissa?
Not put so much pressure on goals for me.
Yeah.
No, I think I'm really proud of myself because it wasn't a goal, but I did get physically healthier this year. I started going back to the gym. I started to feel healthier in that sense.
So you sucked the health away from your sister.
I did. I took all of that.
You siphoned it.
I just siphoned all of
You
that.
vampire. Ironic, considering I felt like a vampire most of this year.
Yeah.
But no, I have like physically been healthier. So I think this year I need to work on mentally healthier. And follow the motto that I literally have tattooed on my arm.
Do you mind sharing what it is?
Yeah, so it's in Latin. It says mens sana in corpore sano, which means a sound mind and a sound body.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it is there to remind me to take care of both my mind and my body, and I tend to focus on one or the other, and never both at once.
Okay.
So
I really hope by the end of next year you will succeed in your goals.
You too. I hope
Yeah.
you too.
Thank you. My word of this year is, or for 2025, is restore, because I wasn't as sick as Jenna, but I was also quite sick this year. And because of that, I lost a zest for listening to music, and like music is such a huge part of my life. And I felt like I really lost that. And even though I have K-pop study group, I haven't been enjoying it. So I really want to restore my love for music, restore my desire to write for my personal life, and restore my health as well.
Yes.
So, yeah. We'll keep each other accountable, Jenna.
Yes. Do it.
And mentally, my love for music, Marissa.
I was gonna say I do actually understand that. That was part of for me being burnt out. Is I noticed that even like my husband would tell me like I'd be like I'm gonna give this up. I'm gonna give this up to like everything, and he'd be like, Jenna, you love that. Like don't give it up. And I'm like, but I can't. I'm burnt out and I'm not enjoying it, and it's more work than I'm getting out of it, and I just can't do it anymore. And it was the more sick I got, the less I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And so I want to definitely, that's part of finding the balance and getting healthy is finding that time to, an ability to enjoy the things that I know I enjoy. And I actually had a moment where I was laying in bed one day and I went, what's my favorite song?
Oh gosh, that's rough. Yeah.
And like, do I even enjoy music? When's the last time I listened to music that wasn't Elias's music or Jelani's music or someone else's music? What do I even enjoy anymore? And it was like, I just sat there, and so I totally understand that moment of like, wow.
your favorite song is the Bluey theme song.
Yes.
Honestly, that is such a banger though.
100%. I'm not, the thing is, it's creepy about that is that when I said, what's my favorite song? I'll tell you what was playing in my head was the Bluey theme song. Because that's what I listen to most of the time.
Yeah.
But yes. Yeah, I feel you.
And I think, like, being anemic and just not having the energy to do anything, it sucks.
Yeah.
It is literally sucking the life out of you.
Totally.
And so, like, being able to relate to each other.
Yes.
has been like, both like sucks for us, but like we've been able to like lament with each other.
It's one of those things where it's like, it's when you are in it, you don't want anyone else to be going through it. It's not like you wish anyone else was going through it, but it's so isolating to feel that way that when you know someone who they're not going through the exact same thing. Like I have some friends that have similar things that go on with them and that I can relate on that level too. But when you're a mom, you always have mom friends that can relate on a mom level. You have, friends that can relate on, we all like books or whatever. So having someone that can relate in illness to you, it makes it feel less isolating, and it reminds you that as bad as it feels, other people are going through it too, and so it's survivable. Yeah, in a way.
But we are on the road to recovery.
It is going to get better. It is.
Yes, we believe in it. Hold fast, brave the storm.
Yes, hold fast, brave the storm.
All right, let's hop into our podcast goals. We kind of touched on these earlier, But one thing we really just want to do is grow our podcast. We want to, both through social media and just listeners, we want to just grow this. From our end, we're still keeping it very low key, very, we just say, hey, Jenna's dying over here. Yeah. And like, no, Jenna, you need to work 8 hours a day on this podcast.
Right.
No, we just want it to be still fun. And like Marissa also mentioned earlier, once it becomes a job, then it becomes a chore kind of thing.
Right.
So if we do end up going in that route, it should still keep it fun.
Right. I think that with that, like we want this podcast to grow. We want it to build. We want to be better. We want to learn more so that we are able to do all of these things. And we obviously give ourselves a lot of grace that it may not go as easily and as fast as we want it to be. But yeah, I think that for with that, I had a thought and I lost it as I was talking. I watched it just disappear
so many times, especially on this podcast. I've had that and then I edit it and I go, oh no, where am I going? I don't know where I'm going.
I just had a Michael Scott moment. Sometimes I start a sentence
and I don't know where it's going. Yeah. Also, by the way, I've been singing the Kit Kat song. You don't know this, but I sent a picture to Marissa and where they couldn't figure out the Kit Kat theme song.
I didn't see that episode.
Yes.
The Break Me Up piece
that fancy feast. Facial hair or whatever. Yeah. And so I've had that in my head.
Ever
me
since.
up a piece of that fancy feast.
Bluey theme.
Kit Kat theme. Wrong Kit Kat theme.
Wrong Kit Kat theme.
What about you, Marissa? What's your recurring theme song?
Right now, I've been listening to my Burning Kingdoms playlist, so I have actual music.
Look at you go.
Angst and down with patriarchy.
Yes. That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, the one thing that is nice about this, that although I don't want to put pressure on it, although I don't want this to build into a chore or something I don't enjoy doing, the one thing I do enjoy about this podcast is that it is helping me find a little bit more balance, because it keeps me on reading and thinking about books. And, it's been a while since it's been 2 weeks and I haven't read a book because I've just let life get away from me. And what's going to happen the next time we record a podcast? And people ask what I'm reading. I'm like, the same book I read 2 weeks ago. Like, I don't know. So it makes me think a little bit more about like what I want to do and enjoy for myself. So I look at Marissa. She read A Day of Fallen Night for about a month.
We agreed that was like 5 books, right?
It is. It's true.
The amount of episodes this year specifically that we have talked about both what's the first book called? The Lotus
Empire. The Jasmine Throne.
The Jasmine Throne. We have talked about that outside of the episodes, and A Day of Fallen Night that we have talked about is so high.
Yeah. That's why they're on my top. I was going to say for the podcast, I think one of my personal goals for it, but I think all of us have agreed, especially after talking with Haley, is more recording podcast content. So more social media content as far as reels and memes and stuff like that. So
yeah. I need to get better at
this year.
Focusing on stuff like that. And honestly, maybe it'll actually get me focused on taking care of myself.
I'll make all the memes. I like making memes.
You're the best at it.
That is something I learned about myself this year. I like making memes.
Bookish memes specifically.
Just when I thought you were done sending memes, you sent us 3 more, and I'm just like, chef's kiss. They're so good.
They were the best.
They're so good.
I had more, and then I sent Jenna some that were specifically for stuff that we I couldn't send to you yet.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Wonderful.
I'm very excited to see what you have in store meme-wise. All right, so let's talk about the formerly Sisterhood of the Traveling books.
Oh, yeah.
So as a wrap-up this year, we read
The
Jasmine Throne. I keep wanting to call it the Lotus Empire.
Because we just talked
about it. So The Jasmine Throne was Marissa's choice by Tasha Suri. We all loved it. It was fantastic. We had Jenna's book, which was The The Unbecoming of June Farrow, which, Unmaking
of June Farrow.
Oh my gosh.
Unbecoming of Maya Dwyer.
Maya Dwyer.
Yeah. It's a very unbecoming book. So.
So The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. And even though we gave it, that book still sits with me, honestly. So I still have it in my heart for some reason, even though the communication was just rough. But yeah, so we had that one. And then we're giving mini reviews of all of these books. We had The Adventures of Moon Al Sarafi, which we all really enjoyed. And then we had Angela's book, which was Eon, which
was mixed.
Was very mixed, yes. Which is good.
Differing opinions on.
So next year, we are going to bring a new friend. We have talked about Ryan a lot on our podcast. He is our DM. We've known him since high school.
He's awesome.
He is awesome. So instead of the Sisterhood of the Traveling Books, we are going to be the Fellowship of the Traveling Books. And again, this is not saying that Angela is not a part of this.
Ryan is a sister.
Yes. Ryan even did say when we talked about it, he was like, I mean, you guys can still call me a sister if you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
No, I like that our names are constantly evolving because you guys were the Braless Book Club.
Yep.
And then you added me, and so it was the Braless Book Guild, and so it was the Sisterhood of the Traveling Books, and now it's the Fellowship of the Traveling Books.
Yeah.
I like the constantly evolving names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this is something that we're are going to experiment and change with over the years. So why don't you guys talk about your books? What are you guys doing for next year?
Well, okay, I feel like mine's not the best one to choose from to say this, but I feel like we have a little bit more variety in our books this year.
Yeah.
Ryan specifically was saying that he's going to focus on a horror book, which I'm pretty excited about. I continue to forget the name of my book. It's called Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. Guys, okay, I've seen this book pop up a lot. A lot. I've seen this book. I kind of started seeing it pop up a lot on social media. I saw it at Barnes & Noble. Guys, as soon as I decided this was my book, it is impossible to get. So impossible to get that we went to all 5 of those bookstores.
And we couldn't find it there.
Couldn't find it in any of the 5. I actually looked it up. All 5 of the other bookstores would have to have special ordered it for me. They didn't have it. And they had notes that it is hard to get and they can't guarantee when they'd get it. I looked at Barnes & Noble. The closest Barnes & Noble to us is over an hour away for me to get this book.
So
I ordered it on Amazon.
On Sunday. Should we pick that up, make a pit stop?
I bought it on Amazon. It was the only place I could get it. I don't usually like to buy books on Amazon because I'd prefer to buy it from a local bookstore.
Yeah.
And support a local bookstore. However, it was the only way that I could get it. I ended up just buying it on Amazon. I'm really bummed. I wanted it from Barnes & Noble because they have the special young adult printed edges, and it was beautiful. I really wanted that. One day maybe I'll buy it if I can ever find it in that version.
When we do our shopping trip tomorrow, we'll go check and just make sure.
And then even now, it is hold on, sorry. It is a 2024 finalist for Goodreads, one of the best books of the year and stuff like that. So
no pressure.
It's supposed to be really
sucks.
good. Yeah, I'm actually excited because both of my books that I chose this year were not going to be good ones for annotating. So I'm really hopeful that this one is. So you guys can all fight over who gets to read it first, since I'm not going to be the one that gets to read it first.
Right. We have to figure out how we're going to do that as well. How about you, Marissa?
So my book is going to be The Space Between Worlds by Micaiah Johnson. It was one of those books where, once again, it just popped up on my recommended on Kindle, I believe. And as I had hinted at earlier, I did a long list of just trying to find things that were standalone novels, and then narrowing down okay, standalone novels under this amount of word or pages and stuff. So and that was actually the one you guys chose out of my options that I gave. But I'm very interested. I don't know much about it at all. I read the description of it, so I knew what the book was about, but other than that, I have not really looked up reviews at all. I haven't looked into it too much because I don't want to go into it with expectations.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
My book is Yumi and the Nightmare Painter by Brandon Sanderson. I am excited for you guys to read a Brandon Sanderson book because I have read only his Skyward series and I really loved them, but he is well loved by his readers. And yeah, I'm excited to get into that one because apparently he wrote it inspired by Final Fantasy games. And I love me some Final Fantasy games. So especially Final Fantasy X, he said it's inspired. And that's one of my top favorites. And then Ryan's book is The Intercepts by TJ Payne, which I did read the description for it, but it was only 5 lines long.
Yeah.
And it was very intriguing.
I couldn't even, I was telling Marissa, I couldn't vote for that one because what we do is we make a poll. We choose 3 or 4 books and throw it out there and let everyone vote on what they want to read of those 3 or 4. I could not find that book for some reason.
It's just Intercepts. He says,
yeah. The Intercepts. And for some reason when I was looking it up, I kept ending up with I don't know, Dan Brown novel
Yes.
or something. And I
Yeah.
was like,
It
no,
was-
that's not it. Like, and I was like, this doesn't seem right because he was saying a horror novel. And so I didn't choose because I couldn't read it. I will say the second book on his poll sounded very interesting too.
Yes.
So I may have to read that on my own outside of this.
Yes, it definitely did. The second book was
The Lamb Will Slaughter the Lion.
yeah. And that one sounded very interesting. I did point out to Jenna that it is a duology.
Oh, Ryan, he failed us.
I know,
Well,
but
we
it
did
did
say
sound
as
very
long
good.
as they're finished.
Yeah, they are finished, and it
Yeah.
is only a duology, so it's not too bad. I think the reason why I went for the Intercepts was that I think it was more of a variety pick.
Yeah.
Where I think if we chose the second one, that would have been more of like
Our
what we
niche.
usually read. I liked the Intercepts sounded something different.
That is also why I chose your book.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because I figured that would be more variety because I already have Inkblood Sister Scribe on my list to read, and I was planning to read it this year. We'll see with how much time is left over. But yeah, and then Don't Let the Forest In because it has such a spooky cover is why I chose yours.
Yeah. I thought it's funny. I had thrown mine out there originally. I mean, you guys have heard me talk. I'm pretty sure I've said it on the podcast. But originally I was going to choose the novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. But then when we decided that we wanted to bring Ryan on, I was like, I don't think that's really his genre. He would have done it. You know what? He would have been game. He is awesome.
Yes.
He 100% will try anything. But I want to get something that would kind of appeal more to him as well. And actually when I saw that it had like a good spooky theme and it's a gay it's
And
a
it
gay
was
book.
queer. That's part of the
And
reason why I chose it.
I was like, I am more interested. And then as I saw more and more stuff about it, I was like more and more invested, and it has like crazy good reviews. So I was like, all right, maybe this is a better option for us, especially for an annotated novel. Although I'm not going to lie, Ashley Poston would be fun to annotate.
I agree. We can do that for each other if you want.
Me and Make Love would do it on the side. We do that a lot.
We'll send it to best friend Hannah.
Yes.
It's funny because the first book, which is a book that we chose, the Space Between Worlds, I picked because it was something I wanted to read and it was an early pick. The Inkblood Sister Scribe I was like, this is more likely what we read, so I'm putting that on there to give them the option of more likely what I think they would like.
It's about sisters.
Yeah. And then the third one I put on there was definitely more of my style of book.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think anybody's going to choose that, but if they decided they wanted to do something different.
I actually was intrigued by it.
Same.
Yeah.
And I did also think maybe I should branch out. As I say earlier, I don't want to branch out.
I don't know if you would because I think it was Christopher Moore, right?
Yes.
So I don't know for sure. I think it is definitely one of those like risky things to have somebody read where I'm like, you're either really going to love it or you're going to hate it.
And maybe that could be a good challenge for myself.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Christopher Moore before. I enjoyed him.
I think you would like. I know because I know you've read it.
I
You were
think
the
I
one that
told you to
recommended
read
me.
Christopher Moore.
Yeah, you recommended me one of his, and because it is a very Kurt Vonnegut type thing.
Yeah.
But I think it's a bit more crude than Kurt Vonnegut is. So that's what.
It's also a little bit more fluffed up than Kurt Vonnegut. Kurt Vonnegut's very straightforward.
Yeah.
But not too fluffed up. I wouldn't call him fluffy writing at all. But I do remember it's funny because I had an ex that was really into Kurt Vonnegut, and so that's how I ended up pulling other because it was like other books and authors that he enjoyed, and I was like, "What? If you like Kurt Vonnegut, read these." And I remember he went through and I think read like every Christopher Moore book.
Yeah, I don't think I like Christopher Moore. I liked the book that you recommended. I don't think I could read him a lot.
Yeah,
he's definitely not on the same level of Kurt Vonnegut for me, but he is. Like I said, he's a lot cruder, and it reminds me a lot more of like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
and I did not enjoy that movie that much, which is interesting.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right. Do you guys have any books that are coming out next year that you're looking forward to?
I don't know. I don't look ahead for that stuff.
Oh.
Unless it's part of a series, and I know, but
yeah, I'm kind of really bad about that stuff too. I don't have a lot of paying attention to books that are due to come out. I do know that I am I'm very much looking forward to the Kingdom of the Forgotten, which is the 4th book in the Witchwalker or the Witch Collector series. That's coming out next year, or supposed to. I know that she's had some delays, so hopefully it comes out. I am also looking forward to the other book that we read? The Heartless Hunter.
Yeah, Rebel
Crimson
Witch
Moth.
is the second one, yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that because I saw someone posted like an ARC review and we're like, I even like this better than the first one. I was like, whoa, I really like the first one. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I do not know for sure that this is, before I stick my foot in my mouth, I'm just going to wait really quick. Hold please.
That's okay. My one that I did think of, I don't know if it actually comes out next year, but it's the next Tasha Sari book. That is one.
I feel like if it has a title,
You
that's
would
usually within a year.
You would hope, but you never actually
Once we have the cover, then we know it's like, okay, 6 months maybe?
I'm hoping I can't guarantee anything. I'm hoping that the second Sabah Tahir Air's book comes out next year. I don't know for sure that it's supposed to. I don't think she has a title or anything for it yet, but it's supposed to be a duology. And I love you, Sabah. I love you so much. I'm not willing to put my heart through this, knowing that you leave me on cliffhangers.
You've done it before.
While I wait around for the next one, because I can't even tell you the emotional turmoil I went through Ember in the Ashes.
She'd love to hear that.
So she would. She'd totally like cackle and love it.
She thrives on readers' tears.
She does. So I want to read Air so freaking bad that every time I see it, I literally it's like seeing your crush across the room wanting to pick out the book, but I won't do it to myself until the second book's out. Sorry.
We'll keep a very close eye out on that.
Yes.
I have a whole list.
I was gonna say, you, on the other hand, know
keep
monthly which one's coming out.
It is in my planner, my 2025 planner, always fully booked. Okay, so it says on the front cover, or not front cover, but the front pages, it has most anticipated books. So Great Big Beautiful Life is Emily Henry's next book. Then we have Sunrise on the Reaping, which is the next Hunger Games book.
Oh yeah,
which is about Haymitch, and I'm very excited. Onyx Storm obviously is a very big one. Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil is V.E. Schwab's next book. Rebel Witch, and then The Night and the Moth is Rachel Gillig's next book, which Jenna and I are going to have to devour.
Yes, for sure.
And then Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales, which is the third and final book in the series that I have been talking about for the last 2 years.
Maybe I'll actually read the other books when that one's out.
Yeah. Sounds Like Love is Ashley Poston's next book as well. The Listeners is Maggie Stiefvater, who did The Raven Boys and Scorpio Races. She has her adult debut, and I'm also very excited for that. A Steeping in Blood, which is the next, what did we read? A Tempest of Tea book. I'm very excited for that one. And that one is Hafsa Faisal. And then The Dark Mirror, which is the 5th book in the Samantha Shannon series, The Bone Season.
Is that not out yet?
It comes out February. So I have the first 4 books on my shelf. And when the 5th book comes out is when I'm going to actually read it.
I do want to read that series too.
Yeah. I will let you know how it is unless you read it before me, which might be likely.
Yeah, well, I mean, I haven't read any of it, so.
Me neither.
Oh, okay. So
I just bought all the series because I got the pretty special editions, and I was just like, I'm going to collect these.
There you
go. So yeah, those are my books. And do you guys have a plan? Our last question of the evening. Do you guys have a plan for the first book you want to read in 2025?
I actually don't. I'm just really hoping that I can finish 2 more books and round out to 50. By the end of this year. We have a couple weeks.
You want some manga?
That's why I'm doing that's why I did Emily Henry as my contemporary
poetry book.
Hey, I could do that one for sure.
It's actually really good.
If I could, even better if I could do 5 more books. That's unlikely, not going to happen. But
I have Nikita Gill poetry books. You could read them in a day or 2.
But you underestimate my child's ability to get in my way. No, but if I could round out to a good 50 books read, I'd be pretty happy. Otherwise, you know what's funny is I usually have like for the year before last, it was 10,000 Doors of January, because I wanted to read January. And then Ruthless Vows, I just knew I was going to read because it came out right at the end of December. So it was going to be my first book. I have no idea this year.
Ooh. So for our next episode, you'll have to let us know.
I know.
Marissa, do you have a plan?
Yeah, I don't have a plan. I don't go into plans. I'm a mood reader too, though, so with that, I don't know what I'm going to want to read because we're obviously recording this before New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. So, I don't know what the next week or so is going to have for me.
Right.
I probably will hopefully finish the book I'm reading right now. And then maybe do poetry. Maybe I'll do Nikki to Kill. I haven't read this one yet. I picked it up. Your Soul is a River.
You just saying you're going to give it to Jenna.
Well, I have other Nikki to Kill books too.
Yeah. Yeah, you said you had plenty.
Yeah, but I said I'd give it to Jenna before the end of the year.
That's true.
Oh, there
so
you
that she could
go.
round it out. If I give it to her before, then I can read it after. She's not going to read it before me. I already know that.
It's a race.
What about you, Megan?
I think I might hop into Once Upon a Broken Heart, since that is a completed trilogy, and my goal is to get through all of my series this year. So I have all 3 of those books, and that's by Stephanie Garber.
I really want to read those books, and I just cannot get myself to finish Caraval, so I might just be like, yeah.
Yeah, just hop into them. She says they technically don't need to be read like in a specific order. You can read whichever
It's like a
first.
Day of Fall Night, and
Yeah.
by the way, I could do back and forth if I want to, but
Yeah. You read 1 chapter of Day of Fallen Night, you read 1 chapter of Prior of the Orange Tree. That'd be so weird and confusing. What if certain chapters like match up?
Oh my god.
And they have like specific spoilers for each book that you're just like, wow. I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, I think I'm gonna hop into that series first and just bust out a series in January. So that's my goal.
So I'm looking forward to not book-wise, Yellow Jackets Season 2.
Season 2,
And
February
Squid Game.
14th.
Season
Squid Game. That
Yeah.
comes out next week.
Yeah, I know. But
Yeah.
that's still what I'm looking forward to.
Did you enjoy season 1?
Of Squid Game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never watched it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, but I love those kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm also looking forward to that, and I am looking forward to You season 5.
See, I fell off after Season 3.
Yeah, I agree. That's what happened to me. So I started while I was making a Christmas present this week. I decided I was going to start Season 2 and Season 3 so I could actually get to Season 4.
There you go.
But
yeah, I watched Season 2 and 3, and I think we stopped watching after Season 3. And
Yep.
Then we had a kid, and it's not as easy to watch. That's not an appropriate show. with
it's
child.
not an appropriate show.
I don't.
To be fair, it's not the worst one to watch with a child.
It's not the worst, but I definitely
Squid Game.
I
Yeah, don't
definitely
watch
have
Squid Game.
realized that my ability to watch any shows with a child is
Yeah.
Yeah.
minimal, so I have to pick and choose.
I like us trying to watch Ghosts together.
Oh yeah, he says watch Ghosts now, which is
No, and
funny.
then we watch Ghosts and he goes, Bluey now.
Yeah.
No ghosts.
No ghosts.
No ghosts.
No ghosts, Bluey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even
watch
in the
Bluey
middle
now.
of Bluey, he's like, okay, I want to watch sing-songs.
Yeah, six songs. Mickey Mouse. Now it's all about Bluey though. Everything's Bluey.
Oh.
Always Bluey.
It's good.
Yeah.
We could stick with Bluey.
Yeah, I can handle Bluey.
Bluey is it's good for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also looking forward to Yellow Jacket season 3. We have been waiting a long time. Percy Jackson season 2 and Wicked
Yes.
part 2.
2. Yes. I tell you, I made the joke. I talked to my boss at work. I was like, so I need November 21st off next year. And she's like, denied.
You know.
I'm calling out.
Yep. I was like, I'm going to feel a little sick a year from now.
That's a good one. Yeah, I haven't been really like keeping up with like new shows outside of I also did binge watch Rings of Power, so I'm really excited, even though it's going to be like 2 years before they even get the 3rd season. But Rings of Power, and if they happen to give us a 3rd season next year, I'd be really happy.
I like Bridgerton. I get kind of into
Oh yeah,
Bridgerton.
we're gonna have an Asian love interest.
I know. I thought for sure they were going to make him gay. The way they
Oh,
were
yeah,
playing this
I
year, I
know.
thought for sure it was
I
going to turn
agree.
gay, but
I'm confused.
it's okay.
We'll see.
I
All
have
right.
absolutely no confirmation that it will happen, but I am hoping that we're getting another season of Ruby this year. Yeah.
It has been years since that has even
Well,
crossed my mind.
it shut down, so
Right.
they moved to Crunchyroll for Volume 9, and then they got shut down, and now they're moving over to Viz.
Oh, Viz was like, hey,
Yeah.
we want this.
Yeah, so the Viz picked it up. They've got like the manga on Viz, but they don't have any plans or anything right now in solid for the show. And I'm like, hey, can I get that?
Yeah.
but I need you to make plans.
They're doing promotional stuff with voice actresses, so
Okay.
that's why I'm kind of getting that like little bit of hope that maybe something will happen there.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe I'll cheat. I'll read the Ruby mangas and get some books under my belt.
There you go. That's not cheating. You're reading.
It's true.
That rhymes, and that was good. All right, so this was our wrap up for 2024. We had some negativity, we had some positivity, we had some pessimism, some self-proclaimed pessimism, if you will.
Yeah.
Look, I'm feeling positive about next year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go into this positively.
Yeah, I think I was sappy in our last episode, but I'm just really glad that we're doing this, and I'm glad that you guys are just so awesome, and that we get to do this together and just enjoy our time talking about books, because why not let other people listen to us talk about books?
Look, next year's goal: less homework, more fun reading.
Yeah, I think we kind of agreed on that. Yeah. So, but Marissa does have assigned reading for us.
Yes,
to start with next year, but that will be within our first quarter of the year. So, you can look forward to that. So, any final words?
Love you guys.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy
Here's to 2025.
All right. As always, we will end on what?
I realized I couldn't say it at the end. I didn't want to put it on there. Happy birthday to someone special.
Also, Jenna,
Me?
you were going off about how difficult of a time you were having, and I pull it up, and it was so hard for me to not laugh.
I
felt so bad for even smiling, because you were like,
I'm talking about like, I'm having a really hard time this year, but I had sent this funny GIF in our group chat. And I made Megan laugh as I'm talking about this sad thing.
It's a picture of Kylo Ren on the like planet. It's from the last episode where he's like drenched in water staring at his dad, and it says, "Here's a nonfiction book I think you'll love." And it shows his face where he's like hurt, distraught, confused.
But don't worry, if you click on it and go into it, he then hurls the lightsaber away.
Oh my gosh. Me, a romantasy reader. Yeah.
Just like throws it across. And I was like,
you said it was
Marissa.
You said it was a GIF, but then I was like, no, Jenna, it's a picture.
It is. It's a picture.
Anyway.
But yeah, it was funny.
So yes, on that note, our quote of the year, not quote of the year, our final quote of the year is, "Tomorrow is the first blank page of a 365-page book. Write a good one." And that is by Brad Paisley. Yeah. So thanks for being a part of our book, you guys.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next year.
Here's to volume 2.
Yeah. Volume 2. Woo. All right, bye.